And that's when I knew, all right, I can't trust her. If they pull me off the block, I'm definitely going to probably put her up. It wasn't just because she put me up, I put her up thing. Because she completely killed everything I had tried to work for. Time, like day after day, trying to build something with her that would work. And then it just turned to shit after she went up. She just was like, short and feisty and...
Right. Well, that would explain why when me and Jess would have our talks, Eric would come out, and then he would always go back and he'd be like, oh, no, I'll let you all talk, which is different from my motive. I really did not want to genuinely interrupt conversation, but his motive, I believe, was to, you know, have me continue to divulge and us discuss so Jess could go back and tell him. Now, Jess swore, which I don't know how much that means. She was like, I mean, we're close, but I don't tell him everything. She was like, believe me, I know this is a game.
Okay, she told me, well, I mean, that's the same thing. She told me that about you sitting there at the date. Oh, well, we're close, but we're not that close. I don't tell her everything.
Well, she's right. As it turned out, I surely didn't know everything. But I was saying on that cat scratch, it was Jess, me, and Danny. And it was Eric. You had already gotten out, so you must have been over there too.
Okay. So it was just Amber and Eric up there.
At that point, no, you weren't out yet. So Amber goes up there. She's on. I'm like, good, Amber, good. And it's between you and Eric. And Jess is like, come on, Eric. Like, says that. And then, like, Eric came by Danielle. And she was, like, looking. She was like, come on. Like, so I knew that's who she was talking to. So right there, like I told her, Danielle, I was like, I knew something was up right there. I'm the only one cheering for Amber. Y'all just went to New York. Like, I'm thinking something sparked there. No. And then Jess, honestly, I'm like, why would she care? Like,
well, see, I made a mistake in that moment, too. I was sitting there, and she's like, come on, Eric, win. I'm like, I look over at her, I'm like, it doesn't matter who wins. I was like, who cares if Amber wins or Eric wins? And she's like, no, we want Eric to win. At that point, I was like, why do we want Eric to win? Like, I didn't really realize. I didn't put two and two together. And she was like, she looked at me strange, like, I wanted Amber to win. And like, why do you want Amber to win? Because I thought that if Amber won, she'd take herself off. One of them two would go up.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that it really mattered. And she's like, no, we want Eric to win. If Eric wins, it's going to stay the same. Like, oh, okay. And here Eric had shit going on the entire time.
This was a hell of a game. Believe that.
He's a shifty MF.
Yeah. Shiesty. I mean, but his game worked for him. And that's the whole thing. This is my whole thing. Your game is your personality. You can't just come in here and start wheeling and dealing like that if you're not good at it on the outside, because how would it work? So if you are the type of person that can be like that chameleon that can throw out deals when it's time to do that, or lay low, or, you know, just befriend everybody and see how far that gets you. Like, your personality is totally what gets you through in this game. You're not going to be one thing on the outside and then come in here and do a total one, or a 180, not even 360, but a 180.
Well, as soon as I knew that the alliance fell apart, I knew that we were all going down one by one. We were going to go,
and it was happening.
And I saw it starting to happen, and I'm like, all right, I got to do everything in my power just to be like a nobody. And I did. I mean, I played chess with myself and sat down here all the time. And there was and the only reason you guys formed a group together is because we formed a group anyway.
Yeah.
If we didn't form anything, you guys wouldn't have formed shit. It wouldn't have been like that.
Yeah.
So by default, we made you guys form because we already had picked a side. And
that kicked
it was
off
ridiculous.
The game. That was the
game. Just stupid. But then after that, flying under the radar for a while, and then, I would say for say week 3, let's say 3, 4, 5, 6, I didn't even, I knew I wasn't going to go up. Like, I just had a feeling that it wasn't going to be me, just because I was so low key that he and you know, and people had just this, I mean, just crazy emotions and crazy shit going on in here, like just erupting, and people's behaviors and stuff. I was like, all right, sweet. I was like,
Not me.
I was like, all right, Dustin's in the thick of things. He's my blessing in disguise.
Right.
Jen, she's my blessing in disguise. When he started attacking like all four of you guys on one day, I was like, all right.
Right.
As long as I just say nothing and hide in the corner, I'm going to be fine. And for the most part, everything was all right. I mean, I knew I was going to get nominated. I didn't think I'd go through this game without doing that. But I didn't think it would have been at Jess's hand. I would have never...
Oh, yeah, of course not.
Never seen that coming in a million years. And I thought that by being the nobody in the game, and by being very just mellow, just laid back, promising my vote to everybody that was HOH, knowing they could count on me, knowing my word was solid, because obviously people thought, at least I thought, people thought me as being a loose cannon, being somebody that couldn't be guaranteed that I could upset a vote if it were close. And by letting people, by gaining the favor of the HOH and letting them know that they could count on me, that they didn't have to worry about where my vote would fall, that they knew